Yes. Well, speaking of good food and the change of seasons, I smell grilling in the air, and I think it's fantastic that we're going to see some grilling down in old DC with big tech, and our good buddy Jason is right on top of that one.
Well, so I wasn't even really aware that there was new grilling going on, because it seems like we keep every time I look up, it's like, oh wait, why is Jack Dorsey being interrogated by Congress again? So
for those who don't know, Jack Dorsey is the president of Twitter. Thank you.
Yeah,
CEO,
exactly.
CEO.
Yeah, CEO, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I mean, I think by the looks of Dorsey, they managed to catch him between ayahuasca trips, which I think is like all of the rage in Silicon Valley CEOs. But
listen, those poisonous frogs aren't going to lick themselves.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I saw this article. If you can't convert a file into a PDF, maybe you shouldn't be writing laws about technology. With it, I think that title sort of sums up a lot of what we would have to say about Congress and politicians grilling tech CEOs about anything. And again, this seems like a broken. That's great. This seems like a Groundhog Day, because I think last time that the tech CEOs got grilled, you had Congress people mistaking like Facebook for YouTube, and asking the CEO of Facebook about something about Twitter. Like, for these people in Congress, the social media is just a big blob of things that happen on the internet. And
what is internet?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So they are just asking the collective guys who run the whole internet about these questions that they have, right? So, some of the things that they're talking about is really a little bit absurd. But what I think the most absurd aspect of this is that anyone would think that Congress is really concerned about whether or not the American people are getting good information from social media. They don't care about whether or not people are getting good information. I mean, we're talking about the government.
Only the quality of memes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, I would be much happier if that's what the subject was. It's like, how can they use their power to improve the quality of memes? That would actually benefit all of us in a really substantial way. But this idea that we have to continue talking about social media's role in getting the Capitol insurrection to happen, or anti-vaxxers are, have to be totally destroyed on social media, because that's going to actually, anti-vaxxers are going to derail the plans of vaccination. Of course, it hasn't. We've already hit 100 million vaccines, but I just think it's kind of comical. Anyone who believes that Congress, and now it's Democratic controlled. If it was Republican controlled, they'd probably be coming out here and trying to berate these guys about the misinformation happening about the Satan shoes or whatever it is that is the next Republican hobby horse. So the point is that the Democrats in Congress, they want to see the tech CEOs, in my opinion, they want to see them highlight certain voices and get rid of other voices that are damaging to either their narrative or their agenda or what it is that they want to achieve. The same as I believe the Republicans would do if they were in the same situation, right? So
Jason, are you actually saying that government is not actually involved in what the country actually needs or wants? They only really care about their own agenda. Carrie, can you believe this?
This is new information.
This is brand new information.
We're breaking. This is breaking news. Like, we're just dropping bombs all over the place.
I do have something I want to throw in here. This is going to be a clip, okay? All I want
start clip now.
All I want before the end of this year now is a press conference where Joe Biden goes forward and explains what Bitcoin is. Please make it happen, Congress.
Just anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, right? Yeah. So So what we're seeing, though, I think is this is going to continue to be happening through the rest of this administration, because this idea of continuing to leverage the Capitol insurrection, of course, that I was there for,
that you were secretly a part of.
As a journalist.
As a journalist, there's been 300 people arrested, not a single gun charge and not a single sedition charge, right? So the armed seditious insurrection, those charges haven't even been attached to anybody. But that narrative is going to continue to be used in order to try to control the voices, control the communication, control the flow of information through these social media channels. But one of the funny things I saw in this article, and this is says, during questioning, one of the representatives of Florida asked Facebook chief executive Mark Zuckerberg if he had concerns about content posted on YouTube. And he says, "Congressman, are you asking me about YouTube?" Zuckerberg asked. And, yeah, of course. Well, you could ask this other guy sitting next to me
who might know a thing or two, who's a part of Alphabet.
Yeah, he runs that company. And so, I just think as much as I think that guys like Zuckerberg and these CEOs of these tech companies aren't friends of liberty, I do feel a little sorry for them when they have to sit there and take seriously Congress.
Don't feel sorry for them as they cry in their $50 wallets and their diamond shoes. Please, no.
I'm like, because they can't just say, "Are you ridiculous? Like, do you even have an idea?" I don't run YouTube. It's like for the 5th time, So that's what I want to see him do.
You almost wish these were like chat rooms that they would actually post what they really feel off the keyboard, as we used to back in the good old days. So
yeah, well, I would like for us to be able to see the secret text and chat of all the tech CEOs, like the government can see all of our secret text and chat.
Mr. Zuckerberg, can we get access to your Slack channel, please?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I really appreciate the analysis. Honestly, I think it's funny because this is going to happen probably every few years or so. And one person that has done a great job on this is John Stossel, who actually says that, you go back to the 90s and Microsoft even said, well, why do we have anything to do with the government anyways? We're just playing over here on the internet. And they quickly found out that, hey, the government wants money. They want to get their campaigns financed. You may have to sit there every now and then and get a tongue lashing, but in the end, you're going to come out smelling like roses because the government's going to take care of you and pat you on the back. I mean, I don't know, Carrie, if this is the world that you want your children to live in, but unfortunately it is.
Yeah, I certainly don't want my children living in this world, but my children are homeschooled.
Well, the alternative is even worse. So I'm just saying, but yes.